Hi Intermediate, we're going to do 4.5. This is functions, and this section has a lot of different topics in it. So, alright, let's get started. So, let's start with definitions. I don't usually ask definitions on the exam except for one, which I will tell you which one it is. But let me just go over definitions so we can communicate. So the domain of a function is its set of inputs. It's usually what we refer to the x's. It's what goes in the function. The range then is its set of outputs, usually referring to the y's. That's what comes out of the function. I'm just saying x and y, but the graph could really be in terms of P and Q, but we typically use X and Y. Alright, so a relation is going to be how you combine the inputs and the outputs. The relation is the most basic way to combine inputs and outputs. So there's no rules to how the domain and range are paired. Okay, they're just paired in some random way. There's no rules to how the domain and range are paired. Now, once you get to a function, that's like the second level up. So if this is like the first level, this is the second level. This is more sophisticated. If you have something that is a function, it has to follow a particular rule. And the rule is each x goes to exactly 1y. Each x goes to exactly 1y. So that means that each x just has one output. It always just goes to one thing. If you hit the light switch, it goes off. If you hit the light switch, it goes off, right? There's always just one determined output, that kind of idea. That's a function. So let's just look at this in terms of what we would call schematics, or like little graphs. I'm asking you if these graphs are a function or not, and we just determined that to be a function, each x has to go to exactly 1y. Now there is a layer above function called one-to-one. I'm just not going to cover that yet today. I'll cover it when we need to cover it. Alright, so let's look at each of these schematics. Let's look at the first one. Could that be a function? Is that possible? Yes, it is a function, because 1 only goes to A, 2 only goes to B, 3 only goes to C. So each thing on the left goes to one thing on the right. So yes, this is a function in this case. First one's a function. Alright, how about this? Could we classify this picture as a function? And the answer is actually yes. You may be a little confused on this one, but it actually is yes, because 1 is only going to A, 2 is only going to B, 3 is only going to B. So let's think about it in terms of maybe ice cream. This person goes into the store and they get mint chip. This person goes into the store and they get strawberry. Their friend goes into the store and their friend just gets strawberry. So each of these people only get one thing as they go into the store, okay? These two people just happen to get the same item, but that's all right. Okay, how about this? Is this a function? Okay, hopefully you're thinking no, right? Because 1 is only going to A, but 2 is going to both B and C. So this would be like the person in the ice cream store who thinks that they can have strawberry and mint chip. Or maybe, let me make another flavor. Strawberry and, gosh, I haven't had ice cream lately, I guess. Walnut. Walnut? No, there's always a maple walnut. That's what it's called. Okay, so this person goes in the store and they want strawberry and maple walnut. Gosh, that sounds good. So this person's going to the store and trying to get 2 items. That's not a function. You can't go in the store and get 2 items. So that's why that's a no. So try to remember, this is going to be the one definition I'm going to actually ask you. So each x goes to exactly 1y, which means that each input only has one output. That's another way to say it. Each input only has one output. Not 2, not 3. You can't go to an ice cream store and get 5 different flavors, right? Just 1. Now, sometimes you're going to be asked to tell if something's a function or not, and you're going to look at it and you're not going to be sure how to answer the question because your brain may not like the way it's formatted. And so feel free to like reformat things in different ways. Like these are all coordinates. This is a set of coordinates, right? So 0, for instance, is going to -3. 1 is going to -4. 1 is going to -2. 16 is going to -5. 16 is going to -1. So I've reformatted these coordinates. These are the x values, these are the y values. Would you now say that's a function? Okay? Hopefully you're saying no, because this value is going to 2 outputs and this value is going to 2 outputs. So the minute it's broken once, the minute you break the rule once, it's just broken. You can't fix it. So this is not a function. Let me just see what I have next here. Okay, we can do this. I don't want to make these videos too long. All right, this is really important, and this is going to look super weird at first. Just try to get used to it. So in the past, when we were trying to name a function, we would just call it y. So we would say, okay, y is 2x plus 5. Y is -3x plus 1. Y is 7x minus 9, right? We just list all these functions. Now the problem with this notation is that everybody is called y. Can you imagine if you're sitting in a class and everybody has the same name? Can you imagine that? Like Chris, 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 Chris. You got 35 Chris's. Like which one are you talking to, right? So the idea with function notation is you start to give the functions unique names. So I could, for instance, call this one f of x. I could call this one p of x. I could call this one h of x. So what I want you to get in your head is that you can give the function, instead of calling them all y's, you're going to give them names. And the notation looks really weird. How you would read this, it's read f of x. F of x. So this is f of x, p of x, h of x. And the reason why it's written like this is because it's like shorthand. It's like shorthand. So like if I say f of 2, that means that I'm using the function f, and inside of f I'm letting x be 2. So if I let x be 2, that's 2 times 2 plus 1, which is 5. So when it's written like this, I put 2 into the function where x is. It says that I use function f, I put in 2, and I got out 5. So it's telling you all the key characteristics in like one quick little shot. All right, we're going to go do more of this, but for right now I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to end this video here at, we're heading towards 9 minutes on this guy. Okay, gang, I'm going to catch you in another video. Bye-bye.